best defense in the National Football League. But can that win a Super Bowl in 2025? A Texans rival wants to do sexual sounding things to them this week, and it's a terrible internet Tuesday. I'm Paul Gallant, and this is the Gallant Says podcast, live on December 2nd, 2025. Hit it!
A radio show host in Seattle called Paul Gallant.
Paul Gallant's wondering the same things a lot of people are.
You are definitely living in the hindsight world today, Paul.
Do you feel there's been a consistent theme with the interceptions?
I think every interception really has a different story.
I was just kind of curious what Paul gets to see.
Grow up, mother. Are you kidding me?
Paul Gallant, what the hell is wrong with you?
I was filling in on Sports Radio 610 on Friday with Chris Partee. And Chris asked me this question. Can a defense still win a Super Bowl? We say that all the time, don't we? Defense wins championships. And the Houston Texans have arguably the best defense in the National Football League. They're number one in yards per game. They're number one in points per game. They're number one in EPA per play. They're number two in yards per play. They're number three in third down conversion rate. They're number five in takeaways. They have 19 takeaways total, 12 interceptions, 7 fumbles, and they are tied for second in turnover differential. They've got the best pass rusher tandem in the National Football League. Will Anderson's tied for fourth in sacks with 11. Will Anderson is tied for sixth in sacks with 10.5. This is an awesome unit. Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter, Kalen Bullock in the secondary, Azeez Al-Shaair running around like a man with his hair on fire and laying people out, sometimes trying to assassinate quarterbacks. And you've got waves of defenders on that defensive line, not named Will Anderson, not named Danielle Hunter, Tommy Togiai, Sheldon Rankins, Tim Settle, Mario Edwards. This is a damn good unit. And they've got D'Amico Ryans, one of the best defensive coaching minds in the league, running the whole show with help from defensive coordinator Matt Burke, who is now calling the plays. You want to put an asterisk anywhere on the Texans defense? I guess you could do it with the pass rush. While they have the best pass rush tandem, their pass rush win rate is 39%. Their pressure rate, 38.3%. Both of those rank 12th. And they only have 27 sacks this year, which ranks 16th. They got the best defense in the league. Generally, unfortunately, the best defense doesn't win a Super Bowl, though. One of the better defenses will win one just about every single year. But generally, it's not the best defense, which the Texans have a strong case for. Over the last 20 Super Bowls, the Super Bowl champ has been top 10 in yards per game, top 10 in points per game, but we're talking about 8th, 9th. The average 8.9 rank in yards allowed a game, 9.55 rank in points a game. Generally, the teams who are winning Super Bowls have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The exceptions, Nick Foles with the Eagles a couple of years ago, Russell Wilson with the Legion of Boom Seahawks and a historic defense at the time. Eli Manning, who got hot in the playoffs with the Giants. Joe Flacco, who got hot in the playoffs with the Ravens. Both of those guys were playing at a level much higher than they normally did in the playoffs. What I'm trying to say is, even though a lot of people around the league agree that the Texans have the best defense in the league, they're going to need a little bit more. I don't think defense alone is going to get it done. As much as I want that to be the case, and as much as it's probably going to have to be the case, the offense has to take a step forward. Will it? We'll see. But it's getting a lot of compliments, this Texans defense. First off, this was Shane Steichen, Indianapolis Colts head coach, yesterday, when asked about Daniel Jones' performance against the Texans. Here is the head coach of the Colts.
I thought he played pretty good. He threw 2 touchdowns. He had over 100 passer rating. Credit to Texans. It's top defense in the league. They had some tight window throws we had to make, some contested catches. But I thought he played overall. I thought he played pretty well.
More from Shane Steichen, who called the Texans defense one of the best in the league before the game that the Texans just won on Sunday, 20-16.
That we got ahead of us. Houston's a hell of a team. They're playing good ball right now. Defensively, I think, statistically, they're the best in the league right now, and they're getting after it pretty good, and we're excited about that challenge coming up.
Not too excited, because obviously the Texans were able to take care of business. Lots of people are calling the Texans the best defense in the league. Here is Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady after the Texans took down the Bills in Thursday Night Football a little bit ago.
They're really good at everything.
I guess it was
one of those advances. I was waiting for them to say what they're not good at. But I think the biggest thing is it's an opportunity for us. And us going in knowing that if we have to control what we can control and going in and not beating ourselves, understanding that they're gonna make football plays and we got to go play the next one. It's going to be a battle out there. They're the best defense in the league for a reason, so it's going to be a great opportunity for us to. It's going to be a great test and a great opportunity, and I'm excited to see our guys.
That was before the game, and the Texans went on to sack Josh Allen 8 times in that game and do what they generally do against Josh Allen, which is terrorize him. One last one. Someone calling the Houston Texans defense the best in the league. Mac Jones has seen a lot of it recently. He saw it with the San Francisco 49ers earlier this year. Here he is talking about what they did to him a couple of months ago.
I mean, yeah, they do what they do. They've done the same thing the past 5 years. So they're really good, though. They've all played together for a long time and got a lot of respect for those guys. And I've gone against them 3 times in the last year, and every time I've left the field, thought they were the best defense in the NFL. So we've had a couple of those these past couple weeks, and really it's about us, to be honest. When we do what we do, I think it can be pretty good. When we don't, that's what you get.
They got a damn good defense. It's one of the best in the league, but the offense is going to need to catch up. At least get closer. You know it, I know it. The Texans know they have the best defense in the league, too. So you got to wonder how C.J. Stroud's feeling when he's asked about that defense. He knows how good it is, but he also probably knows that the offense has to catch up. This was C.J. Stroud earlier in the year saying what we've known for a while, that the Texans have the league's best defense.
Yeah, every day we're growing. We're, everything's starting to come a lot easier. We're starting to make more plays, know what guys are good at in the scheme, and trying to fit the guys to do those type of things. So, it's not overnight. So, our defense, they've been together for 3 years almost, like a lot of the same guys. So, they're making calls and checks quicker sometimes than we can, and then it's vice versa. So, I think it's good. We're one of the best, I think the best defense in the league, and it's been hard, but it's also, very great for us to get a good challenge every day. Yeah.
You can hear him lamenting that it takes a while for the offense to get to that point. The offense has not gotten there. Is progress being made? Sure, but it is very slow progress. More from C.J. Stroud calling the Houston Texans the best defense in the league. He was on the Pat McAfee show and had this to say about the Houston Texans defense with Pat.
Like you said, our defense, man, is, been, a rock and just the best in the league from, I practice against them, so I know how hard it is to go against them. But yeah, I think, if we can be able to play complementary football in all 3 phases, we'll be able to win a lot of games.
You mentioned that, going up against them in practice. The going up against them in practice has not made them much better. One more Houston Texans offensive player acknowledging that they've got the best defense in the league. This is Titus Howard, the Texans' former right tackle who's been moved over to right guard, talking about what this defense brings to the table during the offseason with voice of the Texans, Mark Vandermeer.
Texans defense 2025. Defense of the year. Best defense in the league. Every level. D-line, linebackers, safeties, corners. We got the best defense in the league. But these guys put the work in, man. I'm telling you, like our defense every day at practice, it's hard for us because we're going against the best in the league, so we can do the stuff we got to do against our guys. When they get on Sunday, it's going to be easy for us.
Well, it hasn't been easy for them, Titus. Has not been easy for them, but they are getting better. Texans got a great defense. But I don't know that defenses still win championships. There have been good defenses, top 10 defenses that have won titles over the last couple of years. But it once again always goes back to the quarterback. Just take a look at all the quarterbacks who have won the last 20 Super Bowls. And I'm talking about all the Super Bowls post-Patriots dynasty, where at the very end, the Indianapolis Colts were crying about the rules and got the 5-yard contact rule enforced. The 2005 Steelers, they won with Ben Roethlisberger early on in his career. Ben Roethlisberger was not what he ultimately was. The 2006 Colts won with Peyton Manning. The 2007 Giants won with Eli Manning getting hot, but also on the back of that elite pass rush. The 2008 Steelers won with Ben Roethlisberger. They were the number one ranked defense, though, in the league, and number one ranked points allowed per game defense in the league. Saints won it in 2009 with Drew Brees and a solid defense that was getting a ton of takeaways. They did not rank very well, though, defensively. They were 20th in yards allowed and points a game. Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers in 2010. Eli Manning again in 2011. The Giants, him under center. I don't know why I've repeated that. Joe Flacco with the Ravens, Russell Wilson with the Seahawks, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Nick Foles, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Matt Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. So there you go. You know it. Defense can help you get a long way in the playoffs. But if the Texans are going to actually get to an AFC championship game, if they're going to win an AFC championship game, if they're going to win a Super Bowl, they're going to need the offense to get a little bit closer. They're going to have to close the gap between them and the defense. Some comments. Let's read on TikTok. Gilberto says that I forgot Trent Dilfer. Nope. I'm not talking about the defense pre the 5-yard contact rule being enforced. Not talking about that. Adrian Medina says, dem Browns, though. That's right. They're luxurious. You wish you had them, don't you? Would be one if I didn't pluck it in the middle. Bruce says, just swept over a couple of historically elite defenses there, bud. He's saying it in a patronizing way. First off, fuck you coming in like that. Second, swept over a couple of historically elite defenses. No, we talked about them earlier. We talked about the Legion of Boom Seattle Seahawks. Every single one of those teams generally had a great quarterback. Is CJ Stroud there? You know the answer to that. Not yet. I thought he might be after his rookie season. Fuck off with the condescension. We don't play that here. You just swept over a couple of historically elite defenses, bro. Tisk, tisk, tisk. He's laughing. Well, it's all in good fun, Bruce. Sometimes I got to treat the listeners hostile. Okay. Some comments. Omar F asks, where is the defense vulnerable? I think the linebacker group. Henry To'oTo'o misses a lot of tackles. Azeez Al-Shaair from time to time gets flagged for a personal foul. Or 2. Or 3. Attempted murder of Trevor Lawrence, etc., etc., etc. More comments. Jarrett 2656 says, my main concern is the run game to help CJ when we face another strong defense, especially in a deep playoff run. Granted, you got to make it there. We get run stuffed a lot. Yes, the Texans do not have a good running attack. They don't. Joe Mixon, it does not seem is going to be back this year. That still has not been officially ruled out, but that's the way it's going. Nick Chubb, not Nick Chubb of old. And Woody Marks gets stuffed a lot. It's better than it was for what it's worth, but yeah. One of the things that helps out an elite defense, the best defense in the league the most, is having somebody like a Derrick Henry or a really effective running game that can keep the other team off of the field, in addition to having a great defense swarm all over a quarterback. Bruce says play calling in the red zone needs complete reimagining for sure. Pat the Great says the only problem we have is the red zone. Yep. It ain't good, man. It ain't good. Not Santa asks a couple of questions on X. Echelon says pod. Are you filling in for different markets throughout the holidays? No, I just fill in Kansas City a lot on KCMO. I will be in again tomorrow from 6 to 10. Might be in on Thursday. We'll see if I'm in on Friday. B. Schwett91 says this is a super early conversation and pointless, but I still want to see an elite linebacker next season on the team. I mean, Azeez Al-Shaair is really good, and we are in an era now where they're just really hard to find. You stumble into a linebacker like that. Fred Warner was I think, third-round pick with the San Francisco 49ers. Out for the year now with San Francisco. Third-round pick. Bobby Wagner, I believe, was a second-round pick with the Seattle Seahawks back in the day. Out of Utah State. People thought this was going to be one of the worst picks in the league. The Seahawks 2012 draft class was panned. That's the one that had Bobby Wagner, Russell Wilson, amongst others. A lot of pressure on the Texans defense to make a championship happen. And speaking of pressure, you'll never guess where the Texans' opponent Sunday likes to put pressure. Did you hear what Andy Reid had to say about what he's hoping his Kansas City Chiefs do the rest of the year? This is the head coach of the team that will host the Houston Texans in Sunday Night Football at his Monday press conference. Talked about this a lot earlier today on the radio in Kansas City.
I'm sure you've looked at the standings. This isn't your first rodeo. You know that you pretty much have to win the next 5 games. If you lose one, you're going to need a lot of help to get into playoffs. What's your level of confidence that things can start going your way and that you can win these next 5 games in a row?
Yeah, well, I believe that. I mean, I believe if you're coming to me on this, Matt, I'm telling you, we're going to go after you every game. And, that's how we roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play, every game.
What? Hang on.
And, that's how we roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play.
What?
And, that's how we roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play.
Ew!
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play.
Ugh!
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play.
Bro!
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play.
Oh, what does that even mean? What does tickle your tonsils mean? What does that mean? We talked about this on the radio, but since it's a family-friendly program, I wasn't able to really go in detail. Tickle your tonsils, are we talking about making out? Tough to do with helmets on. Are we talking about reaching through the face mask and shoving your hand down someone's throat? I got a missile in your mouth. Are we talking about oral sex? Blowjobs? What are we talking about here? Andy Reid, tickling tonsils, sir. Sir, the National Football League is a PG-rated program.
Roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play.
That is a lot, Mr. Reid. A lot.
We roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play.
Not Santa comments, well, the dude is rocking a porn stash. What do you expect? I don't know. Not to be threatened with my tonsils being tickled. Let's look this up. Let's look up the official term. Slang for tonsil tickle. What does that mean? Oh. Urban Dictionary. Tonsil tickler. Let's see what this says. Oh my God. Sorry in advance, guys. Tonsil tickler, an extremely long cock. That's the first definition on urbandictionary.com. The second, tonsil tickler, a bloke that can't kiss and frequently rams his tongue down your throat to no effect. Sounds like an Australian. Tonsil tickler, a penis. Tonsil tickler, shoving your penis far enough in the throat to tickle the tonsils. May tickle more if a pubic hair gets stuck in the throat as well. That is absolutely disgusting. And I mean, I'm just going to show that last definition. I'm just going to show it. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. This is a kid's show. It's a kid's show no more. My live has been restricted on TikTok because some people find this uncomfortable. That's Andy fucking Reid's fault. This is a load of bullshit. I hate it when TikTok censors me. God. Wild. Tonsil tickling. Disgusting act. But Andy Reid wants the Chiefs to tickle people's tonsils. Ugh. I'm glad that my search did not pop up just straight porn when looking up what tonsil tickling is. So from what I understand, this was brought up to me by an astute texter when I was on the radio in Kansas City this morning. It seems that the Chiefs are doing this bit this year where they're fucking around, where they're trying to work specific words into press conference settings as a joke. A couple of examples of this. If you've seen the movie Super Troopers, remember that scene where they pull somebody over and they're trying to work the word meow in to arresting somebody on the side of the road as much as they possibly can? Like, that's what the Chiefs are apparently doing this year. There's this YouTube series that they have. It's their own version of Hard Knocks called The Kingdom, and they're doing it on that. So they're fucking around, and I'm assuming that Andy Reid got brought into this in some way, shape, or form as they try to tickle tonsils. I wonder if Reid knows what that meant. It seems that older people knew that he's talking about deep throating. The old deep throat. So there you go. A question from Jarrett, 2656. What's your opinion, Paul? With better offensive play, are the Texans going to the AFC Championship? AFC open enough? Can we tickle some tonsils? I don't know. I don't know if this is a tonsil tickling team. I just don't. I don't think the offense tickles enough tonsils. I mean, look how difficult a time the Texans have in the red zone. They get stopped. Does that mean that they're not endowed? Are they not rocking with a lot? Because it feels like whenever they get super close, they're actually really far away. That's a problem for some. Some call that the Irish curse. It's tough to tickle tonsils with the Irish curse. It's tough. Really tough. But there you go, guys. The Kansas City Chiefs are looking to tickle tonsils the rest of the way. As far as what happened in the National Football League last night, you see my New England Patriots hat on. You might see my New England Patriots sweater. They were wearing the throwbacks last night, and they fucked up the New York Giants. Not enough. Doesn't make up for Super Bowl 42. Doesn't make up for Super Bowl, 46. Doesn't. I'm going to have to live with those two for the rest of my life, but at least they beat up on a bad Giants team to be the first team in the AFC to 11 wins. It's crazy that they somehow lost to the Raiders still. Blows my mind. But they are now 11-2 going into their bye week, coming out of the bye. They will play the Buffalo Bills again. They beat the Bills earlier this year. That's really the toughest game that they have played to this point, given what the Bucs are at this moment in time. It's been a very easy schedule for the Patriots, and I'm happy about where they're at right now as a Pats fan, but I'm not too excited about it. They're playing with house money this year. They're ahead of schedule. They're physical. They play great on special teams, and Drake May seems to be special. Yesterday, after the game, at his press conference, Mike Vrabel was very complimentary of Drake May and seems to think that he is just on the cusp of figuring things out.
I think he's really he's realizing what he can be and what the impact that he makes on this offense, and being the conductor. He's hard on himself. And I think that he challenges himself as well as his coaches. And, I mean, he means a great deal to this football team, and just being able to not get rattled and escape or pressure and find Ramondre or scramble. And, and then when we do have time and, he sees a guy win and put a ball, great spot there for Kyle to make a huge play, or Kayshawn down there in the red zone. So, a lot of third down conversions. So, again, very appreciative that he's our quarterback.
I'm excited about Drake May. I really am. However, I do want to make it clear. I was also very excited about CJ Stroud after his rookie season, where he was great. And we have not seen that CJ Stroud very often since. This year we saw it against the 49ers. We didn't really see it much at all last year. He had great receivers that he was working with last season. When they were healthy, it was Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, and Tank Dell. Wasn't always healthy fully, all three of those guys, but he had a lot to work with last year. And while the offensive line struggled, blah, 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 Bobby Slowick, all that stuff, a lot of blame was laid at the feet of people other than C.J. Stroud. The hope is that by the end of the year, that C.J. Stroud can catch up to the defense. Is he going to? I don't know. Super Serial says Mike Vrabel looking constipated as usual. Let's talk about what a mess the Giants are. Jesus, what a disaster they are. So I said going into the year, it is a really weird move to keep the head coach around to draft a quarterback that it's clear he's very close with, especially when the general manager doesn't seem to like him. What happens when Jackson Dart eventually plays, because they were going into the year with Russell Wilson? Every coach would get sick of Russell Wilson in 2025. What happens when the head coach gets sick of Russell Wilson, puts in the rookie? Good moments might happen with the rookie, but the team still loses, and then you end up firing Brian Daboll, which is exactly what happens. What happens now? What happens next? They're a mess, and it seems like, even though they've got some really good players, Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatabo out for the year, young offensive talent. Brian Burns is, I think, number 2 in the league in sacks. It's one of their best pass rushers. They've got Abdul Carter, who seems to have a lot of potential, but he keeps on getting suspended, and it's gotten to a point where this fake account called Wes Steinberg is putting things out there that are actually semi-plausible. Did anyone see that about this fake post made by fake Giants insider Wesley Steinberg, who is one of the great parody accounts? Did anyone see this? I mean, this even got community notes. Giants defensive end Abdul Carter will miss the first drive tonight for disciplinary reasons after getting caught watching porn in a team meeting when his headphones disconnected. Read was out of context. Wesley Steinberg's this parody account reports, no Abdul Carter on the opening drive, exactly as reported. It's a funny account. I think we've all had that fear, right? You're watching something you shouldn't. All of a sudden, the Bluetooth speaker starts playing audio that you don't want other people to hear. Haven't had that issue yet with the girlfriend. Doesn't mean it's impossible to happen. But that was actually semi-plausible. That report that was out there last night. Abdul Carter was asked why he did not play early on in the game because Mike Kafka, in an interview with a sideline reporter, gave absolutely shit to said sideline reporter. Here is Abdul Carter with a Darth Vader diamond bling chain around his neck, explaining what happened.
Your second time in 3 weeks. Didn't start. What happened?
It happens.
What happened?
I ain't gonna get into detail. Like I said, shit happens.
Why, Abdul? Like, for
Asking me the same question I just answered.
Shit happens. I'm not going to tell you, but shit happens. Shit happened again. It happens a lot. Huh. So that's Abdul Carter. Meanwhile, you've got Jackson Dart, the quarterback, that it does from time to time provide a happier moment or two for the Giants, looking like a 1980s ski resort movie villain. Look at this guy in his fucking turtleneck. This guy looks like he throws change at the homeless, but here's Jackson Dart when asked about a couple of plays in this game where he probably should have slid and instead got fucking rocked by Patriots defenders.
Sounds like a broken record. Jackson just asking you about the hits and taking them, protecting yourself and things like that. Is there
No. Look, like, I understand the question, but like this is football. Like, I'm gonna get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. Like, I feel like I've played this way my whole entire life. This shouldn't be like any shocker to anybody if you've followed along with my career. And we're not playing soccer out here. Like, you're gonna get hit, things happen.
Being defined doesn't make sense. You got to protect yourself, dude. I mean, I'd say the same to Patriots quarterback Drake May, who wasn't protecting himself earlier this year. He's gotten better on that front. You can't be stubborn here. You can't. How many times has he been in the concussion protocol this season? I think we're already at 4 times. Got to be smarter. Everyone thinks they're invincible when they're younger. You're not. You've also got Mike Kafka, the Giants, just an absolute disaster of an operation, who showed that he might be just aggressive every single opportunity he gets, not being aggressive for whatever reason as interim coach now that Brian Daboll's gone. I do wonder if he has any chance of sticking around with the Giants next season. I would lean towards no. He looks a little bit like a Romulan from the Star Trek franchise. Here he is talking about a 4th and 1 where the Giants, instead of going for it, in a game that was a 2-score game at the end, deciding to punt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was kind of where that spot was at. Do I want to punt it back, kind of back him up, get a quick 3 and out, and then give us a little better field position? It was a toss-up for me. I just didn't want to. I wanted to kind of play some field position game right there and give our defense an opportunity. So, that's one that I'll go back and look at if that's one where I could rip off another 4th down opportunity, right? But in the heat of the game, that's where I kind of felt.
Okay, a lot of bullshit to say, yeah, I pushed out. He did. Come on, man. Don't do that beta bitch stuff. Don't do that. Your team's hopeless the rest of the way. What do you have to lose? Try to win. Try to win. I like that Cam Ward called that out at his press conference. Oh, it's insurrection and insubordination. Whatever. Also, Young Koo, Jesus Christ, dude. Young Hookoo. I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened there. I've never seen the kicker miss the ball entirely. He says he pulled up because he thought the ball was leaning wrong. It did look weird upon the hold, so maybe this isn't all on Young Hookoo, but god damn. That was not quite butt fumble. Patriots Jets back in the day on Thanksgiving, but it was rough. Shedeur Sanders, Browns quarterback, got a compliment from his head coach. Is this enough for the terrorists? I mean, for the Shedeur Sanders stands out there? Is this compliment enough?
Had some really good moments in that football game. There are things that he wants back that we're coaching up right now that he can improve upon. But bottom line is we have to continue to put our players in position to succeed. For the young quarterback, you only get better with more turns at this thing in these games as you see more coverages, as you see more defenses, and as you prepare versus different defenses. So just looking forward to that constant improvement with Shedeur and for all of our young players.
He does at the very end talk about all the other young players, but I mean, if you saw the post-game press conference where Shedeur was asked a similar question to what Cam Ward was asked, we played this on yesterday's show. Shedeur said that's a rude question. I actually like the answer. He's defending his coach. Honestly, you should do a little brown nosing for your coach if you're a quarterback that's taken this long to get on the field, despite Dylan Gabriel being in there and a struggling Joe Flacco being in there before that. But this is complimentary by Stefanski. Are the Sanders stands going to stop acting like he is trying to make Sanders fail? It's just fucking stupid. Stefanski's coaching for his job. Wild. Anyway, one last little NFL story. Did anyone see what Philadelphia Eagles fans have done while we're talking about terrorists like the Shedeur Sanders stands out there? Eagles offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo's house was vandalized early Saturday after the Eagles lost Black Friday to the Chicago Bears 24-15. Someone threw eggs at Patullo's home in the hours after the loss. A video was posted showing multiple people throwing objects at his home. It was believed rocks were being thrown. It turned out to be eggs. Here it is, courtesy of one of those NFL aggregator accounts that I need to probably start emulating if I ever want to be successful. Here's the actual video. Watch me get copyright struck for this. But they're throwing something at Patullo's home.
Okay, get the fuck out of Philly, go Birds, dickhead.
Eagles fans gonna Eagles fans. The dirty, dirty people. Some questions. Like Nam Saying asks, what's tonsil tossing? No, it's tonsil tickling. Not Santa asks, which NFL coach likes their tonsils tickled the most? Well, maybe it's every single coach with a mustache. A mustache! Could be Mike Vrabel. Could be Andy Reid. Omar points out that Mike Kafka looks like an evil henchman. Jared says he looks a little bit like Professor X. For sure, but not the kind of leadership that Professor X provides. Speaking of those Birds fans, it would be nice if they would egg these people. This is going to be a new segment on the show. It's called Twitter is Terrible Tuesday. I have seen a trend, and it pisses me off because it is successful and because it requires close to no creativity. It's legitimately just be hot. As someone who's a content creator trying to carve out a space on the internet, yeah, you got to be territorial, and these people fucking suck. I hate them. Look at this bullshit. Example 1. At something too fierce posts, being a girl is wild. because 99% of the time I look like this, and the 1% I look like my pinned tweet. Let's read it. What is the pinned tweet? The pinned tweet? Oh, the thing that looks exactly like the first one, except for with some graphic for coffee? Fuck you, and fuck your coffee company. What else do we have on this front? Because every Instagram / social media thought is doing the same thing. Look at this. From Mia Sky. Being a Packers fan is wild. Half the time I look like that. And the rest of the time I look like my pet tweet. I'm assuming this is going to link to an OnlyFans. Ooh, yep, it does. And here we go. A bikini photo with the caption, kind of insecure about my body. Am I fuckable? Jesus Christ. Get it together, ladies, and be a little more creative. Here's another one. I fucking hate the internet. Here's another one. There's some lady, and she's on the computer, and she's got some wine. Being a guy is wild, because 99% of the time I look like this, and the 1% I look like my pinned tweet. Oh, really? What is your pinned tweet? Do we want to see it? Is it going to show your asshole? It's close. Here she is on her computer, red light therapy, and she's in a short skirt looking at a laptop. God, I hate the internet. These people are more successful than me. That bullshit post right there and the bullshit post before will do more than I ever will get. I fucking hate it. These are all porn accounts. I agree, Greg Todd, but it still makes me mad. It still makes me mad. I'm jealous. Here's another shitty account. Have you seen this one? It's just some chick who eats fucking pancakes. And she's got big boobs. And she dances when she gets her pancakes. This is the low bar that it takes. This is how the Costco guys become the biggest internet sensation. Just complete shit on the internet these days is enough to turn you into a star by some act of fucking God. Look at this. If you're watching along, this is the worst thing you're ever going to see. I hope that she's blocked me. I hope that she has blocked me, because this is an act of terrorism. This is an abomination, what you're about to see, if it actually ever does show up. Because now all of a sudden Twitter's not loading. You know what? Good. Good. I don't want to see it. The question I get the most, are you the waffle lady? No, I'm the pancakes lady. Her profile reads, I overshare, I jam, I cosplay, I thrive. Follow at your own emotional risk. If you came for peace, you're in the wrong place. And there's a bunch of pictures and videos of her doing ho shit on the internet. And here she is with the stupid fucking pancakes. Oh, this is awful. I'm going to get probably copyright struck for that god-awful fucking song in the background. Look at that girl in the background looking with disgust. I'm looking with disgust too. I'm looking with disgust. Ugh. This is a brand. Yeah, look at her like that. Look at her like that. I'm disgusted. Shout out to you being able to eat a bunch of pancakes and it doesn't go straight to your ass, unless that's maybe the point, or maybe to the bajongas up top. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. You should too. The internet's fucking terrible. So I have a question. Should I participate in an experiment that men are now about to do on X? There's an emerging trend on X where users, primarily men, are changing their profile picture to an AI-generated or altered female version of themselves to test if it increases their followers, likes, or overall engagement. This involves publicly stating the intent to pose as a woman on their profile for a set period, 2 weeks, a month, and tracking metrics like follower growth. Participants often report or anticipate higher interaction rates, attributing it to algorithmic biases or user preferences favoring female presenting accounts. I might do it. A couple of different accounts that have tried this out. First, let's take a look on X at account Sag Nick Roy. Heard the X algorithm, fave hours, limey, users with females in their profile picture. So as an experiment, I am changing my profile picture to that of a girl for 2 weeks. Currently, I have 73 followers. Let's see how much effect it really makes. That's pick 1. Here's the original pick. Now, let's see. Started with 73 followers. He is at 72 followers. Okay, that did not work for him. Let's see if it works for this account. Luke Poke GCR. Talking about some person named Connor. Changing my profile pic to a girl. Currently at 4,833 followers. Let's see where I'm at. Sitting at the end of the year. Only the OGs will know. This is what this person looks like. Keep everything the same about the lighting and pose. So maybe I should do this. Here's another one. Oh, no, this is just somebody highlighting the exact same post. I asked Grok to give me a couple of these. These are the 2 examples. But a lot of people are trying this out. Just be a hoe online or be a hot chick online. Started at 4,833 followers. They now have, with this hot profile picture, 7,926 followers. God damn. So this is actually working out for this person. I'm going to have to do it. Here's another person trying it out. What is this? Levolcio? Oh, no, I think this is just a hoe account. Listen, we're going to have to do different things to make it big, okay? What would woman me look like? Let's get a picture here. Let's get a picture. I'm going to upload one of myself. Let's see here. I think I have one at some point somewhere. Is it in my 610 folder? I think it is. Okay. You guys can see what I do here. Make a picture of me wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Make this pic of me look like a woman with a plunging neckline and large bosoms with no facial hair and long hair. I'm going to say like a smoking hot woman. Let's see. There's the original picture, as you can see right there. Let's see what Grok creates. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. This does not look good. Although this one on the left makes me look. This one on the left makes me look like an island man. Oh, these are brutal. These are not good. These are not good. Oh, this is an abomination. Look at this picture. I also look like a vampire. No, make it look like a woman. Come on, guys. Come on, Grok. Omar says I'd lick them. I'd tickle them tonsils. I think a lot of people would, but yeah, this isn't good. It doesn't know how to. Grok's artificial intelligence is not helping out at all. This is not doing much. I look like a surfer. And this one I look like Sansa Stark. It's like a Scott Stapp surfer. Timu Fabio says World of Warcraft Spartacus. Kilo Check 123 says looks like a surfer, bro. Oh, that's not great. All right, what the fuck else is going on today? Because we're gonna give you a full hour. What else is happening? Anything fun? Anything fun? I think Trump said that income taxes might go away soon. That would be fun. The Blaze is saying that two of the dominant male archetypes don't have kids, but they're rich and are stuck in adolescence. Okay. I think adolescence sounds really fun. We got another quote from Jackson Dart, who I think is clueless here, being asked about how he plays and taking care of himself.
I know you said that you're not playing soccer out there last night, but there's a fine line between taking care of yourself, getting that extra yard. How do you make that decision?
There's a time and place for things. I mean, I watch quarterbacks who play kind of like me around the league. I watch, how Josh Allen plays. I watch how Patrick Mahomes plays. They take hits too, so I'm not an anomaly here.
Mahomes rarely takes hits. He's very good at avoiding hits. Allen takes hits, but he's got a bigger frame. He's got a bigger frame than Jackson Dart. So I don't think that's a real apt comparison that he's making right there. Allen flops, for Christ's sake. Saw that a couple of times, Oh boy. I like that Nam saying is changing his profile picture. I'm assuming you're changing it to bosom buddy Paul here. Larry Watson says the Texans defense reminds me of the 85 Bears of the 2000 Ravens with Ray Lewis and the 2007 Giants team that beat the Patriots. I don't know. That's a wide range, Larry. That's a wide range of what this defense is. Greg Todd says, talk about Jasmine Crockett being an idiot that can't research if it was the right Epstein. Yeah, she's what we call a TikTok politician. It seems like she says things for the sake of rage bait, just throws it out there and knows she's going to get a lot of engagement. And almost that's a strategy online that maybe I should use. Just say things I don't believe in and wait for people to tear each other to shreds in the comments section underneath. She is from a prep school in St. Louis, and much like in The Departed, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, when he leaves the North Shore and goes to the South, the project starts talking with a Boston accent. She does the same thing. They call that coding. Not a fan. I don't understand what the appeal is. Like, does anyone have a reason as to why they like her unless they want anarchy? She's just full of shit. There's a lot of politicians who are full of shit, but why do you like that one? Is this your version of the middle finger that a lot of people who elected President Trump were giving to the establishment in D.C.? I don't get it. What is the appeal? Let's wrap up with some questions from the mailbag, which you can get in touch with by email, galantsays@gmail.com. Phone, you can leave a voicemail or a text message at 281-836-3912. Again, 281-836-3912. On YouTube, Mr. Jennels commented on a previous video, appreciate the refs giving the Texans the game against the Colts. I'm getting more and more sick of Nick Haley. Why can't we have an offensive coordinator that's not a rookie and bad? It does feel like this was the Nick Caserio choice after Bobby Slowick was the D'Amico Ryans choice. D'Amico is going to get the next choice as offensive coordinator. He continues saying we need Jalen Reed back at safety. Miles Bryant is awful. I wonder if Jimmy Ward's going to be back this year. No update with him. More from Mr. Gentles asking, how did CJ do better when he had nothing in the end zone? Good question. Good question. It looked exactly like the early part of the season. Davis Mills can't pass accurately, but he got a few touchdowns from the red zone. Yeah, CJ made some nice connections, but not when it counted the most. This is a both Stroud and Mills problem. The red zone is just not happening. YouTube, Larry Watson 30 asks, give me your honest opinion. Do you think the Texans defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl without hesitating, yes or no? Well, if you watch earlier in the video, I list all the things the Texans defense is good at. This is one of the best defenses in the league, but I do not think it's enough. They got to score touchdowns. They're not scoring touchdowns. There's still time left for this offense to improve. They've still got now 12 games through the year, 5 to play. A lot can be accomplished over the course of a month, but injuries can happen too also over the course of a month. Steve Martin, shout out to Steve Martin watching the show. Steve Martin says Sunday night against the Chiefs will be the biggest test. I think if the Texans beat the Chiefs, they'll make the playoffs. Definitely an easier road after Kansas City on the road. Chiefs desperately need that game. If they lose, they're out. But they control their own destiny. They have a game against the Colts at NRG Stadium. They have a game in LA against the Chargers, who are missing their starting tackles with Justin Herbert dealing with a wrist injury. They have a game against the Raiders, who are dead. They have a game against the Cardinals as well. They have a very favorable last 5 games. There's one other game that they're playing off the top of my head. I forget it. Let's take a look. There's one game I'm missing. Was it the Chiefs game, I guess? Yeah, it was the Chiefs. Chiefs, Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, Colts to wrap up the year. TikTok, Brown Chubby Bear comments, this lack of urgency by the Texans offense before halftime has been my biggest frustration with the D'Amico era. He's been the best thing about this franchise. Interesting. Is he the best thing? I think Will Anderson's been the best thing. But this one thing pisses me off so much. Why wouldn't you try to pick up 6? Then he got super aggressive with 2 attempts with the Stover tush push in the fourth quarter, but treated the last 2 minutes of the first half like he had the game in the bag. Yeah, I was bewildered by both of those decisions. I don't get it. Overall, I'm happy. Texans got the dub. Time to destroy the Chiefs. We cannot make these amount of penalties on primetime Sunday. Yeah, what was it? I think it was 10 penalties for 85 yards on Sunday. Let's look this up really quick. 9 penalties for 85 yards. Yeah, you can't do that. Instagram at Sports Gallant at It's Just Sean comments. As of yet, I'm still not giving CJ Stroud that max deal after the year. Let him ride out that 5th-year option and maybe franchise him until he shows improvement. Maybe, but you got David Mulugeta as the agent, and if you don't give him what he wants, does David Mulugeta do what Deshaun Watson did? It's certainly a possibility. I don't know if Stroud wants to be disliked, because it's clear Deshaun Watson doesn't give a shit if no one likes him. But that's something you got to think about. What else do we have? Deverick Grant says the Patriots look like they're on a roll. Texans have to work better with the red zone. Well, the Patriots are having their own struggles in the red zone, as are the Chiefs. A lot of teams are struggling in the red zone. A lot of them. You got to be good at running the football. And I think the Patriots from time to time are good at running the football. I think the Chiefs have been having some issues on that front. I think the Texans have been having issues on that front. Got to score in the red zone. Do we have any comments on Instagram before we get out of here? Nope. That's it. Shout out to Chris Partee, who joined a little bit ago, for inspiring today's topic. Can a defense win a championship? I don't think you can win it alone. Texans need a little more out of the offense because they're doing a lot of historic things defensively. And yet, these games against teams that you're not that scared of, no matter how well the Colts were playing earlier this year, are taking everything to win. The offense has got to get a little bit better. Thank you so much for tuning into today's live show. If you did, normally this is live weekdays, 7 a.m. Central Time, but since I'm doing fill-in work in Kansas City this week, we're doing it at noon for the rest of the week. For now, I should be still in Kansas City in the mornings, 6 to 10 on KCMO. Thursday, I might be off on Friday. We shall see. You can watch this show live, though, on YouTube at Paul Gallant. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It's on Twitch at Gallant Says. Give me a follow. That's all I need, but I'd appreciate a sub. X and Twitter at Gallant Says Pod. Instagram at Sports Gallant. TikTok at Gallant Says. Follow me on all of those. Or on Facebook at Paul Gallant Sports. Like my page. It's available after the fact wherever you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Subscribe, rate, and review the Gallant Says podcast. Until tomorrow at noon Central Time, so long, farewell, and have yourselves a wonderful